Impala Films presents Haunted, the audio drama. Season 2, Episode 2, Prom Night. Part 1 of 4, written by Jamie Evans.
Hey, Chelsea, do you think we should put some of the purple balloons over by the entrance? We could do a balloon arch.
No, Ruby, you dumb bitch. The prom theme is under the sea. Why on earth would we have purple balloons in the ocean?
Well, there shouldn't really be any balloons in the ocean. If there are, it's likely due to pollution, which is really bad for the sea creatures.
Oh my god, I cannot deal with you right now. I can't believe Mr. Warwick said we had to include you on the prom committee.
What's going on?
Ruby wants to put purple balloons up, Grace.
It's just that we have so many left over. It would be a shame to waste them.
Well, maybe you can take them home for your Sweet 16 party, Ruby. Oh, wait. That was last week and nobody came.
I timed it badly. I didn't realise you were throwing a party the same night, Grace.
God, you're stupid.
Nobody likes you, Ruby. Don't you know that?
That's not true.
Ugh, so tragic.
Yeah, tragic. If you want something to do, go hang up those banners over there. I assume you know how to do that?
Yes.
There's only one word for a girl like that. Ratchet.
I'm going to the storeroom to get more bunting. Be right back.
Hey, Jasper.
Evening, Grace. How you doing?
I'll be okay if we can pull this thing together. Could you be a doll and take that box over to Raggedy Ruby? Tell her I've changed my mind about the banner. I want this one up now instead. I've got to make a call. Thank you. Mwah.
Sure thing. Hey, Ruby. Grace says she's changed her mind about that banner. She wants this design up instead.
I just got this up.
Sorry, Rubes. Grace is head of the prom committee.
Grace and Chelsea are so mean. Always telling people what to do. I wish something would happen to show them that it's not nice to hurt people.
What was that?
Oh my God. Chelsea. She's bleeding.
She's got one of the clay knives!
Chelsea, why don't you give me the knife?
Please, help me!
What? No!
Call somebody! She's dead!
What have I done?
Abigail, will you stop pacing?
I'm burning off nervous energy.
Oh, you do realise we left school years ago. There's nothing this headmaster can do to us, right?
I know. Although that is easy for you to say. I seem to remember you getting called before the headmaster a few times back in the day.
Ah, a rebellious phase in your youth, Deputy Dan?
For the millionth time, I'm on sick leave, and even when I wasn't, I was never a deputy. And no, I never got in trouble for anything serious, just the occasional scrap in PE.
You know teenage boys, playing football on an even school field with a tatty ball but might as well be the World Cup to them.
What about you? Ever have to go and see the principal?
No, of course I never technically went to school.
Wait, what?
I never went to an official school. The orphanage I grew up in had specialist tutors who taught us things like maths, literacy and the like. I did well in most subjects. They weren't really a fan of me in religious studies, though.
Didn't you used to be a Catholic, though? Like, surely you knew all of that stuff.
Oh, I knew it, but I was on very bad terms with God by that point.
Man, imagine growing up in an orphanage run by nuns.
I bet they're a lot less sexy than the nuns you're thinking about.
In what universe are nuns sexy?
Oh, when their outfit is made by Ann Summers. Ow! What?
That was like 1,000,000 years ago.
I never said anything about you. You just gave it away.
How? How did I get stuck with you two clowns as partners?
Miss Corbin, Mr. Hunter, Mr. Cowell,
Yes?
please come on in. please. Sit down. I'm Edwin Warwick, the principal here at Eastwood High School. This here is Isabella Marwood. She is our school's guidance counsellor.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Likewise.
It's nice to meet you, ma'am.
Mr. Hunter?
Yes, sorry. I was on another planet for a moment.
James?
Huh?
We're in a school?
Oh, yes. How can we help, Mr. Warwick? Lockers eating people alive? Ghostly student in the history classroom, perhaps? Or maybe an evil janitor haunting students in their sleep?
Excuse me?
Sorry, he woke up on the wrong side of the bed today. What he's trying to say is it's unusual for a school to call experts in the paranormal.
Quite. I have to say I agree, Miss Corbin. Calling you in was Miss Marwood's idea. And to tell you the truth, I'm at the end of my rope, and I decided it was worth a punt, as they say.
You were at Vanderberg Academy last year, weren't you? The night that poor girl fell from the roof.
How did you know about that?
Well, doing what I do for a living, a student committing suicide on school grounds like that, it's my job to prevent tragedies like that from occurring, you understand? So I took an interest in the incidents, and an acquaintance of mine who teaches there told me they'd seen you around.
Our reputation precedes us.
We tried to stop Kayla from jumping, really we did.
Oh, of course. I apologise. I didn't mean to sound accusatory. I don't consider any of you responsible for that poor girl's death. Vanderberg is too old-fashioned of an institution for its own good, and they refuse to engage with the latest research in child psychology. And can you believe that what passes for a guidance counsellor at that school is a part-time church reverend? Imagine living in the 21st century and thinking we need less science and more religion in our schools.
Actually, that's my...
But something happened here. I mean, there's a reason you called us, isn't there?
Unfortunately, we've had a tragic incident here ourselves.
Tragic like Vanderberg tragic.
A young woman, Chelsea Patrick, committed suicide in front of several of the other students.
Oh my God.
When did this happen?
A little over a week ago, Tuesday before last. We shut the school down for a few days, of course. Today is actually our first day open since the incident.
Well, what can you tell us about this girl? Did she seem depressed? Did she have many friends?
She was a popular young lady, well liked by the majority of the student body and by the teachers, for the most part.
Well, Chelsea always had a little trouble paying attention in class. You know how it is with girls that age, much more interested in boys and pop music than algebra and classic literature.
Sexism aside, why invite us here? The girl's death is tragic, but there's hardly anything supernatural about a teenager killing themselves.
There's more.
More deaths?
No, thank God. Bloody hell, could you imagine? Ofsted would shut us down faster than you can blink.
For the last 6 months or so, things here have been strange. Faculty report things going missing. Textbooks they use daily will be suddenly unreachable on a high shelf. All the pens in a classroom will be missing. The PE teacher, Mrs. Halstead, found her car with all 4 tyres slashed and all 4 windows broken the other week. No one in the student body owned up to it, and the CCTV cameras we have in the car park mysteriously blinked out during the event.
Ghostly activity?
Oh, we honestly don't know.
We don't know what the hell is going on. All we know is we don't like it and we want it to stop.
There is one student, Ruby Williamson, who seems to be linked with most of these events. She's a lovely young woman, but she's having a tough time fitting in. She doesn't really have any friends, and several of the other students call her names. Obviously, we step in where we can, but there are times, such as during lunch, when there aren't always teachers around.
I would highly suggest you and your team start there, Mr. Hunter. This young woman is the troublemaker. I'm sure of it.
What makes you so sure?
I've been an educator for 40 years. The last 15 of those, I've been the principal of this school. I know a rotten child when I see one.
Well, based on that very scientific conclusion, I think we should ask around, see what other students know about her.
Excellent idea, Abigail. Mrs. Marwood.
Ms., if you please.
Apologies, Miss Marwood. Could you perhaps run me through this Ruby Williamson's records? I understand there's a degree of confidentiality between counsellor and student.
Of course. Look, there are things I can show you. If you'd like to follow me.
You two talk to the students. See if you can find anything out.
On it.
Leave it with us, sir. We'll have this case cracked in a jiffy.
In a jiffy?
Shut up. Right, so how do you want to go about this then?
Okay, well, you try talk to some of the faculty. I'm going to go blend in with the student body. I bet I can borrow a spare uniform somewhere.
Wait, you're going undercover as a student?
Yeah, why not?
Abigail.
What?
Oh, come on.
What?
Look, I mean this in the nicest way possible. But you're 25 years old. Nobody's going to believe you're a 16-year-old student.
Don't be silly. I can totally still pass for 16.
Oh my god. Look at that old lady trying to talk to students. What is she, like, 28?
It's hardly old.
It's ancient. Everyone knows you're out of date as soon as you hit 20.
You realise there's only 4 years until we get there, right?
Irrelevant! I'm going to be on trend forever because I set the trends.
I think every teenager has said that at some point.
Well, I'm different.
Again, I think every... You know what, never mind. I wonder who she is. I wonder what she's saying.
Let's find out. Oi, Claire!
Yes, Grace?
Tell me who that lady is you were just talking to.
Oh, her name is Abigail, Grace.
What was she asking you?
She asked about Chelsea and Ruby, and she wanted to know if Chelsea had shown any signs of depression and if Ruby got on with Chelsea.
Tell me what you told her.
I told her the truth, Grace. That nobody gets on with Ruby. Nobody likes her.
Good girl. Go now.
Thank you, Grace.
You know, sometimes it's scary to watch you.
How do you mean?
The way you just command people like that and they do what you say. What are you planning on being when you get out, though? Because I reckon you do well in the army or a big business or something.
I know exactly what I'm going to be. I'm going to be an influencer.
Let me see. Oh, here we are. That's Ruby Williamson's attendance record, her year's reports, and her current grades. Do you want some coffee?
Yes, please. She's a good student academically.
Very good. Straight A's in nearly every subject. Her only weak points are physical education and maths.
Do we know why?
When I've spoken to her before, she tells me that she simply doesn't enjoy maths. It doesn't interest her, so she pays little attention.
Fair enough. I seem to remember I was quite the same at school. Never understood why I'd need to know algebra.
As for physical education, well, a lot of that is based around team sports, and Ruby doesn't get on well with the other students.
Do we know why? You do know, but you can't tell me. Confidentiality. Got it.
It's a tough position to be in, Mr. Hunter. On the one hand, I do have a duty of confidentiality, but I also have a duty to protect students.
I agree, but by that logic, if you really believe there's a potential danger to the kids' lives, don't I need to know about it?
Yes, I suppose you do. Ruby Williamson enrolled in the school a mere 6 months ago. She's new to town and is having difficulty making friends. She comes from a troubled background, but I really cannot tell you about that. I'd be looking at a prison sentence, never mind a sacking. Almost as soon as she arrived, the other children have felt that Ruby was different.
Let me guess. Quiet, keeps to herself, enjoys hobbies like reading and art as opposed to the boisterous call of the sports field or underage drinking. A little mousy, but very intelligent. Intelligent perhaps even beyond her years. And just a little bit creepy.
How did you know?
Because different is always the euphemism that people like you use for someone who doesn't fit in with the loudest and most obnoxious in the class.
Sounds like you're speaking from experience, Mr. Hunter.
Yes. No. Maybe. I don't remember a lot of my time at school. I do remember an old wooden closet, though, where they used to send the naughty kids, and I definitely spent a lot of time in there. It was all right, though. I used to use my ink pot to graffiti the illustrations in the textbooks they stored there.
Sounds like you were quite the rebel. However, if I may draw your attention back to the present, several children have reported seeing Ruby moving things when she thinks she's not being seen. Small things, admittedly. Cups, books, a few pens. Never witnessed by a teacher, mind.
Has she ever mentioned it in her sessions with you? Come on, Miss Marwood. You have to give me something to work with here.
She's never said anything, no. However, one time when we were discussing her home life and how she came to enroll here at Eastwood High, she became distressed and these windows rattled in their frames. I, of course, put it down to nothing more than fortunate timing of strong wind, and the windows in these upper floors don't half rattle when the wind gets up. But none of the fellow faculty reported anything similar. Ruby immediately became silent and didn't wish to complete our session. Now you tell me, Mr. Hunter. You're the expert. Are these sorts of things even possible?
Right, I spoke to Tricia and she told me that...
Whoa! Who's Tricia?
Just one of those teachers over there. They're on playground duty.
Which one?
Oh, just one of them.
Don't wave your hand vaguely like that.
What does it matter?
Because one of them is an adorable but frumpy middle-aged woman with a ring on her finger, and the other is a leggy bottle blonde who looks like she's barely passed her teaching degree.
She provided some useful information.
She's the blonde.
All right, yes, it's the blonde. Does it matter?
No. Just enjoy winding you up.
Anyway, Tricia says that the girl who killed herself was on the prom committee, and it was during the decorating that the incident occurred. The theme was under the sea.
Oh, remember our prom?
I remember you getting into your dad's booze cabinet, getting stinking drunk, disappearing before the last dance, and me finding you curled up at the back of a history classroom, listening to a James Hunter lecture on tape.
Oh. Right.
Right. I swear we only just met him, but that dude's been blocking me since we were teens.
Well, if we're still undercover by then, maybe we'll get a do-over at this prom.
Unlikely. Tricia says they've chosen to cancel it in respect to Chelsea. They haven't told the kids yet, though.
Oh, that's a shame. Well, it looks like half the lads would rather go with a teacher than a student anyway. Your Miss Tricia certainly looks like she has the attention of a lot of the boys.
Remember what it was like to be young and have a crush on a teacher?
No! Who?
Mrs. Fowler.
Fowler? The textiles teacher. She had a glass eye.
Hey, at least my unrealistic teenage crush has a functioning liver.
Fuck me. How did we end up here? Oh, poor Tricia. Look at them, crowding around her like puppy dogs.
Is it just me, or were we way cooler as teenagers?
Obviously. But why?
Well, look at them. They all look the same.
They're all in uniform, Dan. That's sort of the point.
No, but look. They've all got their ties down loose to the exact same length. They, Oh, now that is creepy. Abigail, they've all got the exact same haircut.
Well, you know, teenagers and trends, anything to fit in. That's why girls like Ruby stick out. They're different.
And what about the wristbands?
What?
Look at them. They're like those, silly little rubber braids we used to make back in the day. I guess they're back in fashion or something, but everyone has one. Every single kid. Pink rubber bracelet on their left wrist. Even the boys.
Boys are allowed to wear pink now too, Dan.
I know.
Oh, God. Now they're trying to impress her with that skateboard. Shouldn't someone confiscate that?
Whoa. Okay, that was scary.
Yeah. I don't want to sound like my mum, but talk about being glued to your phones.
They're all on them.
They're all crowding around the skateboard.
Wait there.
Like hell.
Well done, Jasper. Very good.
Thanks, it's pretty sweet. I'm training myself to pull off a 720, you know, like Tony Hawk.
Oh, that's great, Jasper. Oh, okay, kids, let's not crowd in too much. We don't want someone getting hurt.
Hey guys, can we back off, please?
They're not listening, Dan.
Students, please. Maria, go get help.
Hey Trisha, just hang on. I'm going to try and cut through and get to you, okay?
Get out of the way!
Hey! Hey! Stop! Stop! Wake up!
What's going on, Abby?
I don't know. None of them are responding. It's like they're all sleepwalking.
What, like you did the other week?
Maybe.
Dan, what are they doing? This is scaring me now. Students, I'm ordering you to stop. Right now, stop.
What's going on? It's like they're herding her. Dan, they're forcing her off the premises.
Dan, can you reach me?
Let me through! Let me through!
Look, they're clearing that side. The tightly packed circle of children changed their shape as if they were a hive-minded insect colony. The circle became an arch, forcing Trish to stumble out of the gate and into the main driveway leading up to the school. The children made no noise but moved like sentinels. Try as he might, Dan could not get through them.
Stop this! Please, stop this! I'm scared! You are scaring me! Why won't any of you say anything? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?
No!
Oh, shit! What the fuck did we just see?
Starring Jamie Evans as James Hunter, Isabella Barbieri as Abigail Corbin, and Luke Hunter as Dan Cowell. Also featuring Phoebe Elizabeth Royal, Harleen Sahota, Megan Rose Buxton, Benton Hodges, Edina Hadley, David Anthony Green, Eve Oliver, Shayla Tharp. Haunted, the audio drama, is created by Jamie Evans, with all episodes produced and directed by Jamie Evans and Benton Hodges. Audio engineering by Benton Hodges and Jamie Evans. Haunted is a production of Impala Films and is recorded at Free Sprite Media Studios, with special thanks to Duncan Newham for equipment support. Opening and closing themes by James Crow. Thank you for listening to this audio presentation. Come back next week for the next exciting chapter of Haunted, the audio drama.